Most people think they understand money because they use it every day. But using money and understanding money are two completely different things. Here's the question that breaks most people. What actually makes something money? A dollar bill is paper. Gold is a shiny rock. A number on your screen is just data. So why does one buy groceries and the other just sits in a display case? The answer isn't value. The answer is function. It's a job description. And it has 3 specific duties. Get those 3 right and the entire financial world starts making more sense. A man in 1870 wanted boots. The cobbler wanted grain. Neither had what the other needed. That's the barter problem, and it's why money wasn't invented, it was forced into existence. The first function of money is being a medium of exchange. Simply put, it's something both sides of a trade will accept without argument. The deeper part, it works because of trust, not because of any physical property. You accept a $20 bill, not because it's valuable, but because you know someone else will too. This is called the network effect of money. The more people use it, the more powerful it becomes. A currency used by 3 people is worthless. Used by 300 million, it moves economies. Now here's where most people stop thinking about money. And they shouldn't, because a medium of exchange alone still doesn't solve everything. Imagine you're a freelancer. A client owes you work equivalent to $4,500. But how do you even communicate that number without a shared measuring system? That's the second function, money as a unit of account. It's a common language for value, like meters for distance, degrees for temperature. Without it, every transaction would need its own negotiation from scratch. With it, a contractor in Chicago and a supplier in London can agree on $1,795.6 without confusion. One thing most smart people get wrong here, they think stable prices mean stable money. But unit of account just means agreed measurement. Inflation doesn't break the function, it bends it. When inflation runs at 9%, the ruler is still a ruler. It's just shrinking every month. That's a different problem, but the function still technically exists. Now the third function is the one that quietly shapes your entire financial life. Money as a store of value. The idea that what you earn today can be spent in the future. Plain version, you work now, you save it, you use it later. The nuance. How well it stores value depends on what's happening to the currency around you. A man worked double shifts in 2019, saved $11,000, and felt proud by December. By late 2002, that same $11,000 bought noticeably less, not because he spent it wrong, because storing value in cash during high inflation is like storing ice in a warm room. The ice is still there. There's just less of it every time you look. This is why some people move savings into assets, not to get rich, but to slow the melt. Not a recommendation, just the mechanism that drives billions of financial decisions every year. Here's the pattern interrupt. Every financial crisis in history was a failure of one of these 3 functions. Not bad luck, not evil banks. A specific function broke down. And everything followed. In 2008, mortgage-backed securities stopped being a reliable store of value overnight. In 1923, Germany, the mark collapsed as a unit of account. Prices changed by the hour. In both cases, people didn't lose faith in money. They lost faith in a specific function. That distinction matters more than most financial news will ever tell you. Now here's the smart person misconception worth dismantling carefully. Some people say, money is just a social construct, so it's all made up. Technically true, but so is language, and language built civilization. The construct works because the 3 functions are real, consistent, and measurable. When all 3 hold, economies grow, wages mean something, planning is possible. When even one cracks, savings evaporate, contracts become meaningless. Trust collapses. So the question isn't whether money is real, the question is how well it's doing its job. Now let's make the mechanism click with a simple number you won't forget. Say you earn $5,200 a month, you spend $3,800. You save $1,400. That $1,400 sitting in a low-interest account earning 0.5% annually is technically a store of value. But if inflation is running at 4%, your real purchasing power is shrinking by roughly $42 every month. Not dramatically, not visibly, just quietly every single month without a notification. That's not a doom scenario, that's just the store of value function working below full capacity. Understanding that gap is what separates reactive financial behavior from deliberate financial behavior. Now zoom out for a second, because this is where it gets quietly profound. Every financial product ever created is just an attempt to serve one of these 3 functions better. A checking account? Better medium of exchange. A savings bond? Better store of value. An index? Better unit of account for comparing performance across time. When someone pitches you a financial product, the right first question is, which function does this serve? And the second question, does it actually serve that function better than what I already have? A guy signed up for a fintech app in 2021 because it optimized his money. He couldn't explain what it optimized. 2 years later, the app shut down. His funds were frozen for 94 days. The product had no clear function. It just had a good interface and confident language. Knowing the three functions doesn't make you immune to bad decisions, but it gives you a filter. Most financial mistakes aren't made out of stupidity. They're made without a framework. And now you have one. Medium of exchange, unit of account, store of value. Not as textbook definitions, as diagnostic tools you can apply to anything. Here's the self-assessment question worth sitting with this week. Think about where your savings currently live and ask, how well is that serving the store of value function? Not compared to someone else. Compared to the inflation rate in your country right now. If you don't know that number, finding it is the most useful 10 minutes you'll spend this week. The next step is simple. Look up the current inflation rate where you live, then compare it to the interest your savings are actually earning. The gap is your real answer. No guru needed, no complicated strategy, just two numbers and honest math. If this helped you think more clearly about something you use every day, the next video goes deeper. It covers why most people's relationship with money is shaped before they earn their first dollar. The way money gets explained to you early quietly controls how you handle it for decades. Final principle: money is not wealth. It is the tool that wealth moves through.